All right. First, my opponent mentioned that that the war is the responsibility of Iraq, and therefore should be remain under the control of Iraq. However, stated by International Policy Digest, President Bush's invasion of Iraq and the U.S. war on terror, President Obama's lack of leadership, and the early U.S. withdrawal from Iraq, the Iran-Arab rivalry in the region, and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict have been suggested causes as the rise of the Islamic State. All of those causes directly involve U.S. involvement. While the issue may be present in Iraq, it's definitely immediately related to U.S. involvement. If the U.S. hadn't done anything in Iraq and therefore had no relation at all to the ISIS movement, then it would be understandable that it could be considered an Iraqi problem. However, the U.S. did help create ISIS and should therefore be involved in the reduction of it and try to get rid of it. The Pentagon, an article titled "The Pentagon Doesn't Know How Many People It's Killed." Nancy Youssef said, "I cannot give you a specific number of ISIL fighters that have been killed. The Pentagon states that we only know that it's hundreds and several hundreds." While the U.S. may have a military spending budget of in the 400 or 500 billion, it's not using the budget effectively enough to reduce the advance of ISIS throughout the Middle East. In fact, by having this limited involvement, it encourages ISIS to continue to spread and continue to take over territory. It has been stated that the inability of the Iraqi government to stem the advance of ISIS has emboldened the Kurdish regional government to assert its autonomy even more, increased prospects of irredentism. It has been shown that because ISIS has been able to expand, Iraq isn't fully capable of dealing with them on their own. They need outside assistance. As stated by New York Times, or not by New York Times, by another article, that ISIS has taken control of over 1/3 of Iraq. That is 1/3 of an entire country that the opposition has stated that can deal with the problem at hand. While they may be able to push back ISIS to some extent, there's no telling at what cost that will have to the rest of the region, how much time that ISIS will have to expand even further, and what further global support that they will gather. As stated by the New York Times, the U.S. has created a monster beyond our own control, and if we don't stop it now, no one can predict what will happen in the future. There's untold consequences of the actions that the U.S. has taken in the past, and should try to make amends to those actions. As Jimmy Carter once stated, "Our foreign and defense policies will make us stronger and safer throughout the world. We will never abandon our struggle for a just and decent society." So, as a result of our past presidents' policies, we should make an effort to combat ISIS with full force and to try to make a better situation present in the Middle East.